So things have been a little stiff around here. And I don't know about you all, but I could really go for some good old tits and ass, baby. That's right. I mean, we have had a lot of pussy power on Cancel Me Baby lately, and I'm here for it, but we need some good old testosterone in this bitch. So who better, okay, to discuss all of the above than the man himself, Glenny Balls, Glenn. He's like Madonna, like the one name, like a share, like the one word name over here. Glenn, the host of Barstool's Only Stands. And this guy somehow won the tits and ass lottery because he interviews hot women. We are talking OnlyFans, gals, strippers, porn stars, I think, all day long for a living, this guy. So without further ado, Glenny Balls, welcome to Cancel Me, baby. I love that you haven't been canceled yet. Like you are balls to the wall, Glenny Balls, literally.
I'm trying not to get canceled. That's the main goal of my show is to be respectful to the queens. We got to be
Oh,
respectful to the queens. You can't be weird. Like, that's the thing. The first question everybody asks me about my show, like I get it so many times at like bars and shit throughout the night. Like, bro, are you fucking these girls? I'm like, no, these are beautiful queens. We got to respect our queens. We're not trying to
hold,
get canceled out here.
hold on, Glenn. You haven't hooked up with not one,
No,
not one.
every single one asks me, but everyone sees them ask me. They also ask me. It has to be on camera. It's not like it's off camera. Plus, I also feel like it's kind of unprofessional if it's like the day of.
I see. So, right, but you have to like kind of slide on in there and make it happen maybe after the fact.
I don't need to push it, frankly. I mean, I'm okay. Like they're wonderful queens, but I'm happy doing with whatever I'm doing. I also always say on my show, number one, they have to be fucking fit. They would have to film it, which I don't want to do. If I'm gonna romance a girl that hot, I want to be able to enjoy it. I don't want to have to worry about filming it and shit. And
Too much
secondly,
pressure.
and secondly, I'm a chase guy. Like honestly, if like Margot Robbie walked in the show right now and she was like, "Let's do it," like obviously I would do it, but I would be like, eh. I want the allure of the chase. I'm addicted to the
Oh,
chase. I love the chase.
this guy over here, I see. He's like, you know what, Margot, you're gonna have to meet. We all want what we can't have, ladies. So
I would obviously do it, but I think it's more fun for the whole chase aspect. I don't
we
want the
all
girls to
want.
break up.
No, we and I will say, I can attest to you being a gentleman because speaking of your balls, like blue balls to get on the Zoom, I made poor Glenn wait like 20 minutes because I was late, and so like making you hold out for real, if you know
You're
what I
good.
mean. So
You're good.
yes,
We're
a
having a nice day at the office today. Our security team got us all a Staten Island deli catered lunch, so I got to have a little sandwich while I waited. It was great.
oh,
So we're good.
okay, perfect. Like maybe checked out. Do you subscribe to any OnlyFans? Because I told you before the Zoom, I actually have a little announcement myself here.
I don't know what it could be.
I can't possibly imagine.
You haven't
But do
told me,
you
but I think I know what it is.
do you subscribe to them for your viewing pleasure?
So it depends. Like, I mean, I will say the foundation of OnlyFans, the reason OnlyFans is successful from the start is because the girls going on it weren't porn stars. They were like Instagram models making an OnlyFans. And the allure is that like it's cooler to see, I guess, I don't know, a famous Instagram model that you followed for a year naked rather than a random porn star. So that's the foundation of OnlyFans. So I've definitely so the reason I started my show, I was bored one day like last year, and I started making like OnlyFans rankings of the week because I just subscribed to a few of them. Like if I see a girl I like, I'll subscribe. And yeah, and then we just started doing that, and then eventually we did it on video, and then it worked out well. So we figured let's do a show. So I definitely subscribe to some. I don't really. I'll subscribe like the day before they come on just to like look at everything. If I'm not gonna lie, if there's one that I particularly enjoy, I will subscribe later on in the day,
As you should.
as
And
I
these
should.
as these
They
ladies
would
should
love it.
get
I mean, I pay.
their money, honey.
I
But
pay.
what's so genius, Glenn, about your show, and I talked to Dave about this when he came on my show, right? Is how Barstool has this reputation by the mainstream media for being misogynistic. And what's so genius is that you flip that idea on its head, because it's like, let's bring in these women who are empowered and objectify themselves for like a great ass living for themselves, and liberate them to like talk about it with a dude who's like let's just talk about it. And you're like the everyman. So that's what's so funny, because it's like watching you, it's sort of tongue in cheek, like watching you, like the every guy with these babes. It's genius.
Dude, the shit these girls get, like talking about women empowerment and whatnot, the shit these girls get, like even in our comments and any comments and any show's comments that do my thing about like how like they're like dumb bitches, like oh like their dad must be so proud. These girls are so smart, and everyone else is such a fucking idiot. It's astonishing.
Well, they're laughing their way to the bank.
They are so rich. It's like if I had like a fucking 14-inch dick, if I had a sweet pair of tits, I would fucking show it and make money. Why not? If you're a hot girl and you don't have an OnlyFans, I don't know what you're doing. You make so much money. They're geniuses. Like whenever a girl asks me, should I star one? I'm like, yes, you absolutely should. You don't even need to show nudity.
So let me ask you this, Glenn, because I too, when I was looking at your socials for OnlyFans, you'll see those comments that are like, oh, her dad must be so proud and this and that. I'm sure that like annoys you and bums you out, but how do you combat that and be like, fuck you, dude? Or you just like keep doing your thing and like empower these women to keep doing their thing? And it's
I mean, I'm not the girl, so I don't really care. I feel bad if they feel bad reading
right.
it. I mean, one of my favorite guests I've had, this girl, Ra Rocking Up, she's friends with Skybree. She comes up with Skybree. Pretty sure she was telling me her dad's her accountant. Like that's just it's if you're confident enough to do it and you don't do it, it's crazy. Like I know girls that have that are some of the prettiest girls I've seen on social media.
Yeah.
And they'll hit me up and be like, "Oh, should I make one?" And I'm like, "Yes, you definitely."
I like how you're the OnlyFans connoisseur, like
yeah,
the end all be all, which is hilarious
like,
because I'm gonna get your input too. Would be
like one of my favorite girls on social media. She's a great girl. She hits me up all the time. She's like, "Should I start one?" And she's like, "Oh, I want to go to heaven." I'm like, "What you're posting already? You could post on OnlyFans and just make more money." So either way, I don't know. I love queens. They're great.
It is a business. It is a straight up business. And Glenn, I like what you said about how you yourself have dealt with the trolls.
Trust me, the worst comments when I was doing nothing at work. I was like, there was a few years where I was like trying to find my way per se.
Yeah.
But that was when I like completely cut off reading it, because it was a lot of mean shit. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to read any of this. So I just never read anything. Now sometimes I will dabble in it because I'm not, some of them are fun now. It's nice to read good comments. But yeah.
Yeah. See, men have feelings too. So I feel like another thing about your show that makes it so refreshing and genius is I feel like we are asking men to not be who they are on like a primal level, right? It's like, because right now everything could be misconstrued as me tooing somebody. We're literally, it's like we're asking men to not have eyeballs. Like men are going to look at you and see tits and ass. Now, if they're not hurting you and it's all it's all good, right? There's a line, well, but you bring it out in the open and it's like something that's just natural that men are going to do. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, so that's like actually like one of the foundations of the show is I forgot who I don't know if I said this publicly. I'm sure I've said it on a few episodes, but like I categorize two things. There's fun horny and there's weird horny. My show is fun horny. Weird horny is no good. That's no good. We don't like that stuff. That's weird. But fun horny, I mean, everyone's horny. Girls are horny, guys are horny. You might as well just fucking joke about it. And the girls they don't care. They're horny too. If everyone's just fun horny, life would be a lot more fun, and it would be the earth would be a lot better place, frankly.
Okay, how do you walk that line though of not being creepy? Because like you'll say on your show, you'll just come out and say shit exactly what I'm talking about that no one now would be caught dead saying because they would be so scared. Like you'll be like, what's with girls getting slutty on boats? Anyone else saying that, but you get away with it.
That's true. I never said slutty on boats. I said girls love boats. They're extremely
no.
They are.
I just watched it, but I have to say, Glenn, I'm not lying. It was refreshing because it's like someone just talking how people think and not being so polite. What?
I'm very polite.
No, but you know what I mean. Not being so like PC tiptoeing around.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think one of them I don't know which guest it was. She probably tweeted about it. I wish I was in a boat right now. And I was like, frankly, I've noticed girls just love boats. I don't know what it is about them. They just love boats. I think it's a fair assumption that girl, like I can't tell you how many stories I see in Miami every weekend. A girl's just shaking their ass on boats. They love boats.
Okay, is it because you just come out and say what you think? Do you self-censor? Like, how do you walk that line, Glenn, of not being a creep, but like allowing these girls to have fun and be liberated and talk about, sex?
I don't really know. I don't really think about it. I guess kind of just be myself. Like I know I'm not a creep, so I think it just comes naturally, I guess. I don't really know.
So you're just sitting there. And are you ever second guessing, like, do I ask this? Do I not? Maybe I reel it back. Maybe not, Glenn. Like, you don't have that internal dialogue.
Well, I mean, I write down what I'm going to ask before. Pretty much, I will say, pretty much every question I ask is based off what they already post on social media.
Has it ever gotten awkward where you're like, oh,
I don't think so. No.
never? So you're a god among men.
I mean,
Glenn, everybody.
there's been a few guests that were a little more awkward than others because I don't know if they knew what they were like walking into. But outside of that, it's fine.
So, what have you, looking back, are some of your biggest takeaways that you've learned from these women? Besides the fact that it's like they're skipping their way to their bank when trolls are on their head.
I was about to say the biggest takeaway is they're the smartest people in the world. We're all dumb. You may
Yes.
not be dumb by the end of this after this announcement, but we're all dumb if you don't have one, frankly. They're very smart, and honestly, they're just fucking. It's the same thing with anything. They're fucking normal people. I didn't realize that fingering is kind of back. They like a lot of girls say they like fingering over you now. That's shocking.
Okay.
Um,
Is back. That's interesting. Yeah, because that reminds me of like a high school second, third base situation, right? But it's like we're bringing it back, very
was totally
retro.
out, but no, it's back apparently from what they tell
Okay.
me. I don't think that's kind of it. I don't really know. I wasn't prepared for these educational questions.
Oh, Glenn, we do it all here. Speaking of, well, no, before I get to my announcement, which I know if you're listening so far, it's such a mystery. I don't know how you
I
could
don't know
ever
what it
not
is.
guess.
You didn't
Yeah,
tell me. You didn't tell me, and I'm still wondering.
it's gonna happen. But I'm wondering, Glenn, what is your aversion to strip clubs? You don't
My
like them.
No, I think they're horrible
Why?
because they're just like they're weak. If you know
He, he leans in the camera. He's like, let me tell you.
they're not fun. I mean, friggin' you go in picture. Do you like strip clubs?
I haven't been to one in years. Actually, here's a little story. On my 20th birthday, I went to Penn State
Yeah.
and I made my friends like literally take a rape van to a strip club in the middle of nowhere. The girls had like two teeth. It's fine. And that was my birthday thing. And I actually ended up getting on stage. And
Ooh.
so, but yes, but I went to a strip club or two when I lived in LA, but I haven't been in a minute. But yeah,
Yeah, I do often say when you're with a girl that's not a stripper and she like maybe do a lap dance or a strip, then that's cool. That's fun.
it's like the OnlyFans. It's like the
Yeah.
every girl, right? It's like,
Yes,
oh,
exactly.
girl next door. I wasn't expecting that.
Exactly. Exactly. But
Oh,
outside of that, I mean, you go, let's say I'm going with three of my friends on a Friday night. Drinks are expensive. All you're doing is getting a lap dance. Like you'll like hang out, maybe you'll get the one drunk friend that'll like be taken for $1,000 and you know nothing's gonna happen. They just come over to you, they obviously give you the fake name, try to talk you up, and like I've been to strip clubs, so I know the end game is just a friggin' lap dance. I don't really see the point of doing it. I can see naked women on the internet. I'd way rather just go to a bar than go to a strip club. I just don't like really see the allure. And I mean, lap dances are fun, but I don't know. I just don't see it.
so you want to know my predicament? I'm actually surprised because of what you do for a living, like being in the flesh with these hot women all day long. But my little pickle is that I'm all for it. It's like, again, it's like the OnlyFans things. Like as a woman, if you want to like take it into your own hands and be empowered to do it and make a good ass living, girl, by all means, like, provide for your peeps or whatever it
I
is, like have
support
a great
strippers.
life. Now, though, on the other side of that, if my man went to a strip club without me, I would be like, excuse me, what I'm sorry, did you just say something? Come again?
I don't know. They're not like that bad.
Glenn, I have heard of full blown BJ penetrative sex
Yeah,
going on.
there are strip clubs that do that. That's fair. I've never been to one personally that does that. But there are definitely strip clubs that do that. I mean, if he goes there and gets a fucking blowjob, yeah, that would be great. But I don't know. Outside of that, if he just goes to the, let's say he's going like after work, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world with his friends. If he goes alone, it's weird. Like if he frequents the same strip club alone for every Thursday night after work by himself, that would be weird.
No,
But
right.
one night he's out with his pals, and then they're all like, "Oh, I want to go." I don't think it's the worst thing in the world.
I guess the argument could be it's like porn. You're objectifying. You don't know. You're not getting this person's life story, but in real life, almost like a VR porn sitch.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know. It's just they're weird. They're odd, and it's also just a weird vibe in strip clubs. I just don't like the
Like
vibe.
it's dark. I don't know what time of day
I
it
feel like
is.
they're all like run by the mob. It freaks me out.
I say, Glenn, next time that you're here in Nashville, we should go to one, both get lap dances. Oh,
I don't know if I could waste a Nashville night at a strip club. I'd rather be on Broadway somewhere else. I don't need to go to a strip club.
Okay, you'll be at Broadway, like hanging out with Luke Bryan. It's fine. And I'll be having the time of my life swinging from the strip club ceiling. And we'll reconvene after.
Yeah, I'm good. You go, you have fun, you have a great time. We can meet afterwards at the bar.
Okay. We talk about this line, Glenn, that you walk of not being creepy. And something my male listeners will say to me all the time when I'm talking about this, right? How guys don't know how to navigate right now because it's like so uptight and kooky. They'll talk about how giving a woman attention is all subjective. So, like, the same woman could get the same attention from like Brad Pitt and then the studio janitor. But if it's the studio janitor, it's unwanted. So they're like, fuck you, guy. And then if it's Brad Pitt, they're like, oh, yes, all day long, Brad Pitt. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're like, it depends on the girl. You got to feel it out because not all attention is created equal. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't really go out of my way to talk to girls often.
You don't? I feel like you would learn all this swag from your show, all the tips. Like you're the all-knowing Glenn.
I do okay for myself, but I don't know.
I do okay for myself. He's
hang
like,
out. I don't really know. I just like being myself, and it works out for me. I'm not like sending a girl a drink at the end of the bar. That's not.
right.
I hate watching guys trying to fucking get a girl at a bar. It's embarrassing sometimes.
Not trying too hard. That is like the biggest turnoff is when you're doing the most or crossing that line, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys, especially when you mix alcohol. There's a lot of guys at the bar that are fucking no good. You just gotta fucking be out if the girl's interested. I think it's pretty easy to pick up on and then leave her alone.
And for the guys, it's like take a hint, dude.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta get that's a good commandment. If there were commandments, that would be on the 10 Commandments ticket.
That'd be up there 1 through 3.
Yeah,
okay, Glenn.
Take a hint.
My big announcement.
Are we done already? I thought you said we're doing 45 minutes.
Oh no, we're gonna still go.
I was excited about 45 minutes.
Oh. We'll see. I make
questions. I got nowhere to be.
I make everyone hold out. I don't give it up right away. You said you like the chase. I'm just playing the game, baby.
Exactly.
Okay. And no, what?
Are we doing the announcement?
We're doing it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, do you have any guesses, Glenn? The Almighty only stands man.
The 1 minute we talked before this, the way you said it, I'm gonna say you're starting your OnlyFans. That would be my guess.
Glenn, you've heard it here first with this phallic dick mic up in my mouth. You've heard it here. Taylor Ferber of Cancel Me Baby. I'm starting an OnlyFans, bitch.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, can we talk about it though?
See, absolutely. Oh, it's like the climax. Hello.
So what's the goal here?
My whole mission is to prove how women can be tits and brain. Okay. And so I did this in a big 6-page Playboy feature. And I posed and wrote an essay and I pitched it, right? And in my mind, it's like Playboy is this iconic prestige, like, of course. And I always put the OnlyFans thing in another category or the IG model thing in another category. And I'm kind of like, you know what? Walk the walk. Like, yeah, look at him. He's like, yes, I'm trying to give the people what they want. So what I'm thinking of where I'm going to go with it, right, is to prove this very thing, like get out of my own boxes of what I can and can't do. But I was thinking of still tying in what I do. So like maybe it's like I'm getting ready for my show, but I have like a tight white with nipples showing or under boob. And I'm like, here I am getting ready for my show. Or like snarky little captions about cancel culture and groupthink and just saying what the fuck I think. But meanwhile, like, here's my tits. Like, see what I'm saying? Bringing it all together in a big happy package. That is
So
cancel.
basically, what you're saying is you're using the tits to be the vehicle to the other stuff,
Yeah.
which is fair,
Or they go hand in hand,
as they should.
as they should.
So when are you going to drop it?
Well, I have a whole arsenal of materials already, and this is what I wanted your input on. Okay. So, number one, I'm really inspired by Denise Richards because her husband is like her creative director. So, I'm trying to have my man be the eye
Love that.
of what guys want,
You
right?
should. Yes. Even though, listen, I know I'm assuming you're not doing porn on there, but like I always
No.
say, yeah, I'm assuming not.
Okay, so do you want to see an example and we can have you give a gauge? All right, let me go in my because I have some that are. It wouldn't just be the photo. Again, it would be like a poignant little sassy caption about society. Don't mind me. Okay, but so like here's an example.
Yes. I know girls that make a lot of money on OnlyFans that don't even post nudity. That's the thing.
Oh, I know. A friend of mine was like, I'm gonna start an OnlyFans and read poetry. I'm like, what? And yeah, to all of you who are listening and not watching, that is
I'm
just
sorry, we're looking at photos right now, fellas.
And here's the thing, it's what I was saying earlier. Like, I'm not gung-ho against like male gaze, whatever. Speaking of Denise Richards, I mean Denise Richards and Wild Things, like iconic. I'm always posting on my story like all of these vintage bombshells, and it's like they're vintage bombshells for right.
Denise Richards and Wild Things is 13-year-old me loved that movie.
A 31-year-old me loves that movie. I am okay with giving the male gaze what it wants because even women find it hot.
Frankly, I would totally fucking date an OnlyFans girl. Why not?
Glenn, there's also something to be said. I hear this a lot especially from like right-wing commentators where they'll talk about how it like, no guy wants that. It cheapens a woman. Like no one really wants that.
I actively am searching for a sugar mama. I actively want one. If that's the case, then I'm fine.
You're like, I'm taking applications today, ladies.
Yeah. No, I think I would date an OnlyFans girl so easily. Not even a question.
Well, you don't have such a narrow-minded view of it.
Not that I'm like a weirdo that like finds things hot. I think it would kind of feel hot if I knew it's just a bunch of dudes were jerking off to my girlfriend, frankly.
You're like, that's my girl.
I'm the one that gets to have sex with her at the end of the night.
It's even a version, Glenn, of like, say you're at a party and you see a guy like flirting with your girl or whatever. It's like, that's hot. It's like, yeah, you wish, dude.
If she went home with him, that would suck. But yeah.
No. But it's like that thing of like seeing other people want your.
Yeah, I think that's a nice feeling, frankly.
Yeah, exactly. People are really uptight about it though. And I want to break out of that own box because I myself on my show through the last few years have grappled with this thing of like doing both and feeling, just getting out of that box. Cause there's also a part of me that feels like I've always felt torn about it. Cause I love how it empowers women and it's like in their own hands and their own content and they have the autonomy and it's not some dude on a porn set dictating. But I also am like, I don't want young girls to feel like this is like the only way to make money. You know what I mean? So that's why I've always, or like, it's like the easy way quote or,
I mean, it's not that's like I said. I take back what I said before. I said it's doing nothing. It's not doing nothing. It's a full-time job, and you got to do you got to keep up with social media because you got to stay relevant on social media for it. But like, I mean, if you're a beautiful girl and you don't have a problem with showing off your goods, I think it's crazy not to do.
Glenn, think of it this way too, right? I've been thinking about it lately with launching my own. People, it's selling your body, okay? People sell their brains and their souls to corporate America as slaves every day, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I was a moral of the story, if I looked like so who's one of my favorite OnlyFans girls? If I looked like a beautiful girl who had at my show, Keep Chambers, I thought she was great. If I looked like her in dude form and girls cared enough about guys as guys care about girls, I would make an OnlyFans.
But Glenn, this goes into what I was saying earlier, that idea that we're trying to shy away from, but that's the reality of men just being visual and like taking it all in a way. Like women, we still think this shit is super hot for men and women. Like even women, probably naked women more so than men. But there's something about men like on a primal level where it's like they're just visual, you guys, and you just the eyes take over, and that's just
In
naturally
my
what
defense, I
happens.
do enjoy the personality.
No, exactly. It's like after I have had sex with you with my eyes for 20 minutes. No, but yes, of course, it goes hand in hand. Of all your thorough, doing the Lord's work and all your research, like what is it for both men and women about tits? Like this is what I'm talking about. How the female form is just like, think of Marilyn Monroe and Playboy back in the day. Like it is just fucking mesmerizing
I mean, I
for
this is,
anybody.
I don't even know if I've told the story on the show, but it's one of my favorite stories ever. But friggin' my mom always tells a story. We were watching Titanic when I was like 4 years old. It was like 1999. And we were watching Titanic on VCR, and she fell asleep and just woke up to me rewinding the Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls scene. Like I was like four. Like they're just, I mean, in the most fun, least horny way possible. There's just nothing cool than seeing a pair of tits. Like it's just like, and it's not even almost like not even a sexual thing. It's just like the guessing game of it, kind of like of what they're gonna look like. It's just the best.
I have a similar story. I don't know if you remember that VHS was like 3 tapes long because that movie was a century long. And I literally would keep it as like same thing as like an 8-year-old and like just at that part and rewind it and be like, wow,
Iconic.
the
Loves
more
that.
you know.
I mean, like Liz, like a lot of even girls on my show will ask me, "Are you a tits or an ass guy?" And I'm like, you know what? Like, just for sight, like asses are awesome, but you could basically visualize what someone's ass looks like. Tits, it's a whole different ballgame. They keep you
Because you
anything.
just don't know.
What do you find? What like if you love an actress and they finally go nude, like 10 years in, you're like, we've been waiting for this for so long. It's the best.
It has so much power. That's why I wish that so many female actors, like so many come out after the fact and they're like, I regret it. And I'm like, own that shit because it has a power over us that you don't even know. Like it is mesmerizing to another dimension. Take it from Denise. Genius. I want to subscribe to hers just to see because I'm obsessed. I
Yeah.
think there's something to Glenn, and I'm sure you notice this on your show, but like there's a level, and this is where it comes into the subjective thing I was talking about earlier and who we get attention from and whether we like it or want it or not. But there's a level of knowing that we look hot and seeing like heads turn in a room and like have commanding that attention and power and unleashing that. And also don't disrespect me. Like I'll have at it and I'll have a good time. And yeah, but like don't cross the line, buddy.
Once again,
And
there's fun horny and there's weird horny. We got to say the fun horny.
horny and weird horny.
Yes. Put on a shirt.
Horny and weird. You haven't yet?
I have it. I want to.
So you know what I'm gonna put on a shirt I think is
I just don't know who's going to buy a fun horny weird fun horny.
exactly, just wear it around, wear it at Christmas. I think I'm gonna put tits out, brain out on a cancel me baby shirt.
You should. That's a good tits out brain.
Tits,
Yeah.
tits
Fine.
out, brain out. Tits
You
out,
make,
brain
you
out.
make a good logo. That there's possibilities for a good logo there.
True.
Maybe a
See?
nipple on a brain.
Ah,
How about that?
Marcus, like an optical illusion. Marketing genius.
How about
Well, thank you, Glenn.
that? See, here's the thing. I'm going to subscribe respectfully.
But
Yeah.
see, that's right, of course, always. But see, that's the allure. I love that. It's like the every girl next door.
Well,
And it's like,
that's the
oh,
foundation. That's the foundation of that's like what OnlyFans was founded on. Because
mhm.
originally this was like a thing where you like your favorite Instagram model that you've been following for years. She finally posted a link, and you're like, fellas, the link is live. We got to subscribe.
Fellas.
It's different. It's like you kind of like know the person. And then especially if you know the person in real life, you definitely got to subscribe.
Well, I would hope looking out, Glenn, that you would give me some pointers along the way because
I will help you I will help you in any way you need.
oh well, thank you. Because I am doing it to liberate myself and have fun with it. But listen, I'm not gonna lie, like I'd like to make a buck.
When's this episode going to drop? But you have to have the OnlyFans ready for when it drops.
You're right.
Part
All I
two.
know is my nipples are hard and I'm excited. So that's what I know about that.
Exactly. And leave it up to interpretation if anyone's going to see it or not.
Exactly. It's like Christopher Nolan, who bitch, this is the
You got to
the cliffhanger you didn't know you needed. I'm not one to give it up right away. So, okay, Glenn, before I let you go, do you have any big plans for Only Stands in 2023?
Not really. Just ride the wave. Just ride the wave.
Just living the dream.
Just hanging out. Just maybe getting some good queens. We got some good episodes coming up. I want to get some more superstars. Maybe we're working on that.
What do your friends and parents think?
My mom and dad don't really care. They hang out. It was pretty awkward the other day. I went to get a new phone at the Verizon store with my mom, and then the guys there were just like OnlyFans, and I was just like, dude, my mom is right here.
She's right there.
You can talk about Sunday conversation all you want, but you got to bring up the OnlyFans show. My mom is next to me.
Like no chill whatsoever. No, this the whole like thing of it though is really hysterical. Like even of the optics, like seeing you sit down with these women.
Actually, you know what I'm excited for? We just renovated our studio, which will be very good for future episodes. I'm excited about that.
Okay, there you go. I still don't totally, I don't know. I still don't totally buy that you don't self-censor a little bit when you're in the moment with them. I guess unless you pre kind of plan it, like you said, in research.
I'll
But
send you one of my notepads of the interviews. I don't mind.
let's see it. I mean, I do get it, although I go off the cuff, but here's mine for you.
I do.
So I get it. I'm preparing for you, Glenn. See, I'm not doing willy-nilly for the only stance, masterminds over here. But thank you, sir, for your service and
Hey,
OnlyFans. I am
good luck
yes
on the endeavor. I'll be subscribing. I'll be watching from afar. If you need me, you know where to find me.
coming to an OF near you,
Yeah,
baby.
fellas, check it out. Check it out, fellas. Subscribe.
What he said. Thank you, Glenn. I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
yeah,
I'm
no,
kind of nervous.
you're gonna kill.